well. He's got some great music out there. Look him up on Facebook. Also,
PR?
He's all over the place.
UNO, Josh Bruno.
We'll link him in the show notes too.
And we're gonna
link him in the show notes.
All right, Mike is going to link him into the show notes.
The first time I met Josh, we had done a live concert on the radio, which we don't usually do at all, just because of the technical aspects.
I remember you guys doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I don't think it's even a stereo signal. You're getting a mono feed basically,
Right.
but we somehow pulled it off, not once but twice. But played, Josh played in a club down there, and at one point, I'm not sure that Josh knew that I was a musician or working or anything. So they did Wholesome Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. In the middle of it, I happened to have a harmonica, so I ran up there and played the harmonica.
All right.
So, I didn't ask permission. I figure it's easy to say, apologize later than ask for permission.
Oh, no. he loved it, knowing Josh.
But, I mean, Josh, they draw great crowds in Jefferson County.
They do.
They've got a great fan base. I mean, at that Hard Rock show, I think they were just shy of like 400 people. And I think I counted 150 people back who came from Missouri back to Nashville for the
I
show.
would not be
a huge
surprised at
crowd.
all if it wasn't 150.
Yeah, it was very impressive. So.
Yes, it was.
That is. And like I said, his opening act was pretty darn good itself. He had a few people there. I know that for a fact because I kept bumping into them. They were at the table next to me.
Well, Josh has an appreciation for singer-songwriters, the guys who are penning the tunes, and we're not always the act that's first and foremost up there on the stage, but we write hopefully some great tunes for those guys, and that's what Josh has been doing in Nashville for a while too. So he has an appreciation for it.
Speaking of great tunes, what are you going to do for us next?
I'll do something off the common ground. This is called Driving Down the Rain. That's a good one?
Oh,
You
yeah.
like that one? Okay.
We have to look toward the wires for affirmation, that's for sure.
Oh, he knows what my favorites are.
Yeah, good. Well, if they're yours, they're other women. That's what it was.
Backed up my life, my wife and my kids, and headed out west like my great uncle did. If there's no silver word in your life of regret, if you never do nothing, it's just what you get. Can I start that over again? Is that okay?
This is sweet.
Absolutely.
1 and a 2 and a.
That's what this is all
That's
about.
what the podcasting for is all about.
And don't feel obligated to perform it. I know how that goes when you get them thrown on. We had told him one song, and little did he know he'd have an encore before the show
I must
was
have
over.
5 songs right now.
An extended play?
Yeah.
Hey, no black marketing, Mike. We know how you
I've
are.
already got it.
You
Scott
can go to
Kubala Live.
Right, you can go to scottkabala.com.
Backed up my life, my wife and my kids, and headed out west like my great uncle did. If there's a lesson that's learned in a life of regret, if you never do nothing, it's just what you get. Driving down the highway in the rain, never understood just how these storms can ease my pain. I never felt at home or at ease in a Midwest night. I never felt at home in a little town for all my life. down, but my grip is still solid. I'm hugging the road, bearing down on the throttle. Road sign advises us another 10 miles. I know the sun will be shining when we finally arrive. Driving down the highway in the rain, but never understood just how these storms can ease my pain. But never felt at home or at ease in a Midwest night. Never felt at home in your little town for all my life. Soon as these boots could hit the floor, I was beating a path to the open road. Driving down the highway in the rain, but never understood just how these storms can ease my pain. But never felt at home or at ease in a Midwest night. But never felt at home in a little town for all my life. For all my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Kubala.
Very
Outstanding.
Very nice. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Scott,
That's cool.
couple of quick questions. One of them would be, do you tend to write the lyrics first, or do you come up with a melody? I mean, or do you kind of do
Blend
different
them in.
things? Blend them in?
I think probably predominantly I've written the lyrics first, and that's because a lot of the stuff that I've played over the years, I may have been playing for a couple of decades. The lyrics have been out there, I've written them at some point,
Right.
and maybe had come up with a chord progression, but then, at some point revised them. So I'd have to say the lyrics, although I've written a lot of the stuff I write now, and I've heard other artists say this, that they dream, the music or the lyrics. I mean, I've written some songs where I've woken up and I've heard the lyrics, I've heard the music, I've actually dreamed the tablature.
Wow.
And then there are other times when I don't remember that, but I wake up and I just feel like I've got to sit down and pick up
Compelled.
the guitar,
Wow.
compelled to
So
do
in
it.
the middle of the night?
And usually in the morning.
In the morning.
But it always happens when, I've got some time to relax and kick back. I know I don't have any of the pressures of, getting up and ready to work. But I've heard other artists talk about doing that, so I'm not sure where that comes from. And when it happens, I literally have to go online and Google, some of the lines for the song
Right.
and try and figure out if I've heard it somewhere, because you don't want to,
Plagiarize.
plagiarize somebody else's
Yeah,
material.
absolutely. No, I mean, and it's easy to do. You catch something in the back of your head, and it really doesn't register, and you're thinking on terms of this song that you're
Yeah.
thinking about, and then you catch it one.
And there's
you go,
nothing new under the sun, so
No,
I can see
no,
it happening,
there-
and
absolutely.
we all get influenced by, some of the same groups, and
That's
so I can
music.
see it happening.
In commercial radio, you can see it happening every day. I mean,
But, another funny thing about that, though, too, I think Hank Williams talked about this, and that is when you are first learning the craft of songwriting, what he advised doing was, finding some songs that you enjoy playing, learning those songs, and then dumping the lyrics at some point, rewriting the lyrics, maybe altering the music a little
Right.
bit. So
and at that
there's some
point-
honor in plagiarism.
there is. I mean, it's
Hank
been-
Williams can do it.
Yeah, anybody can do it, and we all do. Everybody, to a point, does. I mean, we've heard everything. Like you said, nothing new
Yeah,
under the
there's no
sun.
note that's not
And
familiar.
really, if you're coming in with something new under the sun musically, you and I probably couldn't listen to it.
Good point.
You're talking about waking up in the middle of the night. It rarely happens with me unless, of course, there's an elbow on my side going, would you turn over? Holy cow. Yeah, I'll put some.
Here's a couple of quick
Quit
things.
breathing.
We're closing in. We're under 5 minutes now already. And
Wow, this
one
has
of the-
flown, this has been fun.
If you wouldn't mind answering a few questions real
Absolutely,
quick
go ahead.
from listeners. Gail from Lindenwood was wanting to know how long you've been playing and where you're playing next. Do you have any schedules coming
I
up?
will be playing, well, the second half of the answer first. I'll be playing in Nashville at the Red Rooster on the 2nd, which is a Wednesday night,
Okay.
and then at the Hotel Indigo on the 4th, which is Thursday night. I'll be a special guest of the Flat River Band. And those are the immediate dates that are scheduled. And what was the other part of the question?
The other part was how long you've been playing.
Oh, I started playing when I was 13.
So about
Guitar.
20 years.
I cheated and looked at your website. I found out that you played piano before that, though. Right?
Yeah, I took piano lessons, and I also took saxophone lessons in
Yes.
school, and that was a great experience because I'd play, and you'd be there with 5 or 6 other students, and the instructor would listen to everyone. He'd listen to me, and he'd go, "Let me see that saxophone." And he'd play it, and he'd go, "No, there's nothing wrong with it." I
terrible.
play guitar. So, early teens. I've been playing.
Anymore?
There's a
the
couple
70s.
more questions. Mike wants to know if you have played in the St. Louis Fan Fair.
Ren Fair.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ren Fair. It's just Facebook fonts. It's killing
No,
me.
but I'll